Good morning, students. Myself, Rajni Sharma. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the causes of French Revolution. The first major cause was the how the society was divided among the three estates. Second, political causes, in which we discussed about the long years of wars and debt of 2 billion livres, etc. In economic causes, we studied about the subsistence crisis, and the next cause was growing middle class, in which the contribution of various philosophers like Montesquieu, Rousseau, and John Locke. And we have done the major cause, the immediate cause of French Revolution. And after that, we start with the outbreak of the French Revolution. Earlier in the immediate cause, we discussed that on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called upon an assembly of a state general in which 300 representatives from each of the first and second estate and 600 from the third estate, and the total was 1200 representatives. And all these three estates gathered in a splendid hall for the assembly. But in this assembly, the representatives of first and second estates were allowed to sit in the rows, but the third estates, the representative of third estates were not allowed. They had to stand at the back. No doubt the representative of third estate were educated and more prosperous, and they believed to represent the whole people of France. But the peasants and the laborers, they were not allowed in that assembly. However, about 40,000 letters regarding their grievances, their problems, were carried by representatives of third estate. This is the splendid hall of General Assembly. According to the principle of monarch, each estate had one vote, and again Louis XVI wanted to apply the same practice this time. This time means on 5th. And then, but representative of third estate did not agree on this. What they wanted a voting assembly as a whole and wanted each of the representatives to have one vote. It means equal representation of all the representatives. But Louis XVI rejected this new proposal. As a result, all the representatives of the third estate walked out of the assembly in protest because they wanted to represent each and every category of the society. But Louis XVI was not ready, that's why they walked out of the assembly. Now, very important incident took place in Versailles. On 20th June, they gathered, they means the third estate, in an indoor tennis court in Versailles, where they declared them as a National Assembly and took an oath not to disperse, not to disperse till the new drafting of a constitution of France under the leadership of Mirabeau and Abysses. Very important personality in this revolt. Mirabeau belonged to noble family and Abysses was a priest of to the church. In spite of that, whether they belonged to these two first two estate, but they believed in the need of a privilege free society. Actually, the people of first two estate, they enjoy various privileges by birth. There they delivered, they means Mirabeau and Abysses. They delivered powerful speeches regarding the need of new constitution and equal opportunity to all. But at the same time, the harvest was badly affected because of winter, and because of the bad harvest, the there was an increase in the price of bread, and this led to the hoarding of supply by bakers, made the situation more worse, more critical. One day, after long hours in queues, anger broken into women and they stormed the bakery. At the same time, troops moved to Paris to suppress the turmoil. Turmoil means the resentment, the angered people. In retaliation, crowd destroyed the Bastille. Now remember, recall the introduction of this chapter, the storming of Bastille. Now, this was the major reason why the people, why the mob gathered together and they attacked over Bastille on 14th July 1789. A rumor spread that an order had been given to troops to destroy the crops. Because of fear, peasants attacked the Chatuks and looted the hoarded grains. Record of manorial dues were set on fire. Many people were killed in this agitation. Many noblemen and clergy fled to neighboring countries to save their life. Finally, Louis XVI surrendered against agitation and accepted the recognition of National Assembly. The National Assembly, which took place on 20th June by the Third Estate, and agreed that his power would be checked by constitution. It means now Louis XVI was ready to restrict its power. This we call constitutional monarchy. On the 4th of the August 1789, the feudal system of obligations, taxes, privileges to the nobility and clergy were abolished. Now all the powers enjoyed by the noble class, by the clergy, were taken by the constitution. The constitution put severe limitation to their power and their privileges which they enjoyed by their birth. And land owned by the churches were confiscated. This gave an asset of worth about 2 billion livres to the government. Next topic is France becomes a constitutional monarchy. Listen, students, constitutional monarchy means when the constitution put some limitations to the power of the king or the emperor. The National Assembly completed the draft of the constitution in 1791, aiming to limit the powers of the monarch. The powers were now separated and assigned to different institutions. It means to different organs of the government, the legislature, executive, and judiciary, which made France a constitutional monarchy. The Constitution of 1791 gave the power of making laws in the hands of National Assembly, which was indirectly elected by a group of electors, which were chosen by active citizens. Now, very important, active citizens and the passive citizens. Active citizens comprises of only men above 25 years of age who paid taxes equal to at least 3 days of a laborer wage. The remaining men and all women were classed as passive citizens who had no voting rights. It means active citizens were those citizens who enjoyed some economic power. It means the richer one in the society. But whether the men and the women which who do not enjoy any economic uh, we can say economic privileges or good economic status in the society, they were denied to enjoy this power, voting power, and they remain as a passive citizens. That's it for today. We will continue our next topic in the next lecture. But again, if anyone have any doubt related with the any topic, then you can talk to me or send a message related with your query on my personal number. Thank you for today.